What's happening is there is a limit switch right there. Let me show it to you guys. So that's your rod coming up all the way, and there is one limit switch right there, and then there's this other one right here. So let me show it to you guys close. On this side right here, that's your switch, and there's a wire on top of this switch that connects. So I'll disassemble the switch. So basically what's happening is this switch is not right. So there's two reasons. There is a contact in there which we will clean up, and the another thing is where it's placed, and displacements matters too, because what happens is once you open or close the garage, when the garage is coming close, this thing moves back up, picks up this contact, which sends a signal to the controller telling it to stop. So if it's pushed more towards the back, by the time garage door closes, it might not make good contact. So you have to make sure this is at the right position, and the contact is clean. So both things. So we're gonna clean the contact, and I think I'm gonna push this one a little bit backwards, because I've already in the past made a mark here where it's supposed to be, and it has moved a little bit, and the contact needs to be cleaned as well. So I'll show you guys how to clean the contact, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen once I take this off, and I'm going to remount it. I'm going to mount it a little bit closer, and this way. Okay, so to test your limit switch, so this is basically what was up there, and the way it works is it is installed like this, and when your garage door is coming close, it basically pushes this lever which picks up this contact right there, and it's nothing, it's just a simple contact, and they touch together and basically make the connection, and this is where the brown wire was connected to, coming in. So that's when it touches this and makes a contact, it sends a signal to the motor saying that now it needs to stop the closing process, and that's when it stops. So if this is having issues, the controller motor is not going to get the signal, and is going to try to keep closing the door, and when the door cannot go anymore, the safety feature for the motor will kick in and open the door back up. So that's why you're having this issue, that the door would close and come all the way close and then come right back open, because this limit switch sometimes might not be working, and sometimes your door might be working just fine. So it's an intermittent problem. So what you need is just a regular sandpaper. Grid doesn't really matter in this particular case. I just have a fine grid, and I already did that, but I'm just going to show you. Just take that small piece excuse me, and just rub it, and you'll see the difference. See how dark it was on the inside, and you just need to clean the contact on the top side, because that is where it touches this side. So I also clean this side, as you can see how shiny brown that is, and I also clean this one. So now when it touches, it's making good contact, and the best way to do it, to test it, is with a meter, and you can just put it in the buzzing mode, and when you touch these two wires, you make a good contact, and all you have to do is, it's kind of hard for me to hold the camera and then do it. You just touch one right here, touch one right here. You should hear this beep, and you just have to have somebody. I can't do it with the one camera. Basically, put one end right there, the other end of this one right here, and when you engage it, you'll see it humming or buzzing, and that's the best way to test it with the multimeter. And when I did the test prior, it wasn't really doing it, or it was doing it sometimes, and sometimes it wasn't doing it. But after cleaning, it just does it every time. So I know the contact is nicely and clean. Just put one clamp right here, and the other one on this guy, because it is attached to. This is the other end, and when you touch it, that's it. Or you can just engage this, which does pretty much the same thing right here, like this. Once you clean the contact and install it back in, that's it. Just make sure, remember where you installed it. Use a Sharpie, mark it up just like I showed you guys before, and just put it back in the same location, and it'll be good. What I'm going to do, since I mounted it at the exact same place and it's doing the same thing even after cleaning the contact, what I'm going to do is move this guy back a little bit, just a hair bit, so so now I moved it up a little bit, so now when the contactor comes back, it'll hit the plunger much quicker. So now let's try it. Okay, it's coming back open. I'm gonna stop it right there. You don't really have to go all the way up. Close it. There you go. Now it's working good. Try one more time. There you go. So that's about the right place for it to be. So again guys, clean the contact and move that limit switch a little bit further backwards towards the controller. Just a hair bit. You don't want it too much, and you can play around with it. And that should solve your problem. Hope it helps.